saya ucapkan kepada para hadirin yang hadir. Saya, bagi pihak majlis mengalu-alukan kedatangan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ke Pertandingan Projek Sulam 2023 peringkat Universiti Malaya. Saya, Anis Azalia, pelajar tahun pertama Fakulti Sains dengan berbesar hati dijemput sebagai pengacara majlis pada hari ini. Syukur kehadiran Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana dengan limpah kurnianya dapat kita bersama-sama untuk hadir ke majlis penyampaian hadiah Pertandingan Projek Sulam UM 2023 pada pagi ini. Bagi memberkati majlis kita pada pagi ini, saya mulakan majlis kita dengan bacaan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Adat kita menyambut tetamu, salam dihulur mesra bertamu, hamparkan tikar, lebarkan pintu, pemanis bicara aluan didahulu. Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Nur Intan Ebi Murad, Pengarah Pusat Latihan Intern dan Pengayaan Akademik Citra. Barisan panel juri yang dihormati, yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Farahdina binti Yusof, Ahli Jawatan Kuasa dan Strategi Sulam Jabatan Pengajian Tinggi. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Vishalachi Balakrishnan, Penyelaras Sulam Universiti Malaya. Yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Rahimah Abdul Kadir, Alumni Universiti Malaya. Yang berusaha Dr. Fatimi Hanafi, Pensyarah Citra. Yang berusaha Dr. Nur Ain binti Maknur, Pensyarah Citra. Yang berusaha Dr. Erin Yok Sok Chin, Pensyarah Citra. Pensyarah-pensyarah, tuan-tuan, puan-puan serta pelajar yang dikasihi sekalian. Hari ini merupakan hari yang paling ditunggu-tunggu oleh kesemua 5 peserta terbaik untuk bertanding bagi merebut hadiah utama bagi kategori Projek Sulam dan kategori pembentang terbaik. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, Pertandingan Projek Sulam 2023 peringkat Universiti Malaya merupakan tahun kedua pertandingan ini diadakan di peringkat Universiti Malaya di bawah anjuran Pusat Latihan Intern dan Pengayaan Akademik atau Citra. Objektif pertandingan ini adalah untuk mengiktiraf pelaksanaan khidmat komuniti yang dijalankan oleh pelajar dan pensyarah bersama orang awam, NGO, industri dan agensi yang berkaitan sama ada secara bersemuka ataupun di atas talian. Sebanyak 32 penyertaan telah diterima dari 9 fakulti yang melibatkan kategori Projek Sulam terbaik. Setelah proses saringan dilaksanakan, 5 finalis dari kategori Projek Sulam terbaik telah dipilih dan layak ke peringkat akhir untuk sesi pembentangan projek pada hari ini. Tahniah kami ucapkan. Hadirin dihormati sekalian, bagi memulakan majlis pada pagi ini, majlis menjemput yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Nur Intan Ebi Murad, Pengarah Citra untuk menyampaikan ucapan pembukaan. Dipersilakan yang berusaha Prof.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Saya ucapkan kepada semua, terutama sekali kepada jemputan juri kita paling istimewa, ketua juri. Untuk projek kita ada 2 konsep. Pertama untuk projek terbaik. Ketua juri untuk kita untuk projek pertandingan ini adalah yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Farahdina binti Yusof yang baru balik daripada sabbatical, dan beliau merupakan ahli jawatan kuasa dan strategik Sulam JPT dan juga pensyarah di Fakulti Pendidikan. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Visha, yang tidak asing lagi, kalau cakap Sulam tu memang Dr. Visha lah orangnya. Okey, penyelaras Sulam di peringkat Universiti Malaya dan juga pensyarah di Fakulti Pendidikan. Yang berusaha mentor saya dulu, Profesor Dr. Rahimah Abdul Kadir, alumni pensyarah Universiti Malaya dan juga pengarah yang pertama di Citra ataupun dulu dikenali sebagai SKET. Prof. Rahimah lah yang telah berusaha untuk mendapatkan Citra bangunan ni. Dulu kita kita punya location di Bakti Siswa, Prof. Rahimah, and she was able to get this building untuk Citra lah. Okey, juga juri untuk pertandingan persembahan terbaik. Okey, yang berusaha Dr. Irene, Dr. Fatimi, Dr. Nur Ain. Mereka semua adalah pensyarah Citra yang hebat yang telah banyak kali menjadi juri untuk pertandingan kurikulum. Okey, sebelum ini. Terima kasih saya ucapkan kerana sudi untuk menerima jemputan Citra untuk menjadi juri pertandingan Sulam di peringkat Universiti Malaya. Saya percaya dengan kredibiliti para juri kita, penilaian yang dibuat nanti adalah telus, adil dan tepat. Okey, selamat datang juga kepada penyelia-penyelia projek dan peserta-peserta pertandingan, iaitu pelajar-pelajar yang saya sangat kasihi, staf akademik dan juga sokongan staf akademik sokongan Citra dan juga PTM yang di belakang sana. Kita sebenarnya ada Facebook Live on Facebook Live. Okey. Okey, seperti yang dinyatakan oleh MC kita tadi, pertandingan Sulam ini adalah acara tahunan yang dianjurkan oleh Citra di peringkat Universiti Melaya. Dan juga seperti dikatakan terdapat 32 penyertaan, dan kalau kita tengok breakdown 3 dari alam bina, 1 penyertaan dari API, 2 dari APM, 1 dari fakulti seni kreatif, 4 dari fakulti sastra, 5 dari pendidikan, 10 dari pergigian, 1 dari perubatan dan 5 dari fakulti sains. Dan seperti dinyatakan, mereka ini telah disaring dengan telus dan disaring oleh pihak yang tidak berkepentingan, iaitu Dr. Rohana Mahmud, pensyarah dari FSKTM, dan yang merupakan juga mantan timbalan pengarah di Citra, dibantu oleh Dr. Faridah Cik Hussein dan Cik Iza Azwin. Okey, saya memang tidak dibenarkan untuk involve langsung dalam saringan tersebut. Okey, tapi saya diberitahu semasa saringan dilakukan, nama pensyarah, nama pelajar dan juga nama fakulti telah dikonsilkan. Jadi mereka hanya melakukan saringan based on konsep projek tersebut. Okey, dan Citra akan sentiasa berusaha untuk menambah baik mutu pertandingan Sulam ini dari masa ke semasa. Contohnya pada tahun ini kita dah pisahkan pertandingan projek terbaik dengan pertandingan persembahan terbaik. That's why you can see 2 juri yang berlainan. Okey. Dan saya juga minta maaf, saya rasa semalam ramai pelajar yang bertungkus lumus untuk menyediakan PowerPoint slide ataupun poster presentation sebab hanya diberi 1 hari saja untuk prepare. Ini kerana kita ingin melakukan saringan dengan lebih awal, tapi dapat feedback banyak projek yang tidak habis lagi, tidak lengkap lagi. Jadi bila kita buat minggu ni, ini juga adalah minggu ke-14, semester akan berakhir, minggu depan student tak ada. Jadi terpaksa kelang kabut sedikit lah, tapi kita akan reflect balik, buat postmortem, tengok macam mana kita akan improve on that matter lah. Akhir kata, terima kasih daripada tim Citra yang diketuai oleh Cik Iza Azwin, penolong assistant registrar kita, dan dibantu rapat oleh Encik Fadli dan juga rakan-rakan Citra lain kerana bertungkus lumus untuk mengadakan pertandingan ini pada hari ini. Dan tahniah kepada ke-5 kumpulan pelajar, dan saya ucapkan salam maju jaya. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Profesor Dr. Nur Intan atas ucapan yang diberikan. Para hadirin yang dihormati, pertandingan kategori projek Sulam dinilai melalui keaslian projek, kreativiti dan inovasi, potensi projek, kesan projek terhadap pembelajaran serta manfaat projek ke atas komuniti. Pada tahun ini, Citra telah memperkenalkan 1 kategori baharu iaitu perbentangan terbaik. Kategori ini akan dinilai melalui persembahan grafik atau kualiti item, kreativiti, penyampaian, turutan maklumat serta respon kepada penyertaan. Sebelum pembentangan bermula, ingin saya ingatkan bahawa masa pembentangan hanya akan diberikan 15 minit sahaja. Penjaga masa pertandingan kita pada hari ini ialah Encik Azri Fazli Muhammad Omar dari Citra. Mungkin Encik Azri boleh bunyikan loceng sedikit? Jadi loceng sekali akan dibunyikan untuk memaklumkan peserta mempunyai 2 minit sahaja lagi untuk membuat penggulungan pembentangan sebelum masa tamat, dan loceng akan dibunyikan 2 kali setelah masa tamat. Bagi sesi soal jawab pula, barisan juri dan pembentang hanya diberikan masa 5 minit sahaja. Loceng akan dibunyikan sebanyak 3 kali menandakan sesi soal jawab telah tamat. Hadirin dihormati sekalian, tanpa membuang masa, saya ingin menjemput kumpulan pertama dari Fakulti Pendidikan dengan tajuk Projek Emotional Support yang diketuai oleh Saudari Muhammad Rushidah binti Rosli. Dipersilakan.
Am I presenting here? Yeah, okay. Anyway, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. I am Nuri Rushdia Rosli, a representative for this group to present our project for today. Good morning. Yeah. Okay, so our project is emotional support project. So before I dive into our project, I would like to ask everyone, well, it's regarding our project. So have we ever thought of how our life gonna be when we are older, at later age? Especially my single peeps lah. How's your life gonna be? You know, when your children have their own little family, how are you gonna be? Lonely, correct. You know, yeah. Anyway, that's our main concern for our project, loneliness among older age. So anyway, when we are older age, we may facing few issues like, you know, eating problem, decrement in mobility where we can't move freely like now. Okay, that's the issue. So yeah, so we take COVID phase for example, because many old people affected by it because they can't move freely, they need people to take care of them. Okay, so yeah, so that display the age of population. Oh my god, no one, hang on, how do I, can I move the mic?
I'm lending the what you call remote control. You can actually
We have remote control.
just inside there.
We do not have remote control.
Remote control tadi mana?
They should learn
Tak ada kat
about the
situ.
course kat sini. So kena ada related to moral.
Nak in.
Dia ada bachelor program tak ada masalah.
When they talk about moral, it's thinking, feeling, action. Itu memang kena.
Memang ada
Philosophy moral education tak ada
So you're going to block.
How did you apply? Actually can lah, because it's very wide. The touch itself is very
Tak
wide.
ada mana-mana.
Tapi why as a student ini macam ambil moral education?
Ini bukan moral macam moral sekolah. Ini adalah moral yang kecil. To deal with itu yang saya ada macam next week you must read about moral education.
But this one is not versus university lah kan?
Elective faculty.
So sorry for the inconvenience. Anyway, so that displays the age population needs care is gradually increasing, but that is not our main issue. Our main issue is the loneliness. That's our crucial issue for our project. That's our team's concern. That's what motivates us to do this project. So what's with our project is actually very straightforward. From the title itself, you can know already it's an engagement project that with elderly through social interaction that accompanied with few fun activities that we done with them. Anyway, our aim is to understand the loneliness and also the monotonous life. Okay. Now next is for our significance. Loneliness is not only affecting our emotion, but it also affecting our physical condition. And research found that in order to combat the loneliness is through laughing. Laughing is the therapy for everything actually. Okay, and also emotional support, we wanted to help the elderly to feel valued, to be seen, to be understood, and to make them feel less isolated. That's our significance for this project. So these are the Pusat Jagaan Nurjana that we chose to make our wish come true through this project. Okay, it's located at Lemak Ramat. So yeah, it's only for Muslim women only since the staff is all women. Okay, now these are the issues that we face throughout our visits there. We identified two main issues that are affecting the loneliness. The first is lack of social interaction. Why we say lack of social interaction? Because less people to talk with and less people to confide with. That's why the lack of social interaction. And for dependency is they need people to help them to move around. This is because of the lack of decrement in mobility, where they cannot move freely. They need someone to assist them in in doing their daily activities, you know, like even getting up from bed, moving around, you know, eating and everything. Okay, now moving on to our project objective. We do have two objectives. The first one is to strengthen the social interaction between elders and young people, where we provide sense of companionship and also socialization. The next is to learn significance of social interaction through experience. This is to alleviate the feeling of loneliness, depression, and anxiety. So those two are our objective for this project. Okay, now how do we carry out this project? So of course, first thing first, we got to discuss any issues that might occur. You know, we plan everything, activities, budgets, the duration, how many times, you know, maybe like 5 times, once a week we done that. So like during the execution, of course we communicate with the center, with the grandmas and the staff, and also the owner. And during the execution also, all the objectives we have achieved, and all the activities are already divided fairly, and maybe during the execution, some of the members may kind of lag, so we just help out because after all, it's a teamwork. Okay, and at the end of the visit, we did some very intimate and warm closing ceremony with the grandmas, where we prepared tea time with them. You know, we made sandwich. You know, we gave out presents and flowers for them. It was very enjoyable. One of the grandma even joined us. Anyway, for post, of course, after we ended with our project, we're going to reflect back what's our strength, what our weakness, what our experience throughout the project. And with that reflection, we make a report, and then we present the report. Okay, this is our teamwork. Now, the background is our doctor, Dr. Ramzi, and the small picture here is my team members, and with two staff of the PJNJ, Pusat Jagaan Nurujana. So here we divided tasks among ourselves fairly lah. Anyway, next is our challenges. Now these are the challenges that we faced during the execution. So the first one is time consuming. So time consuming happened because the journey from uni to the center, because the center located at Lembah Keramat, so it's quite far. It took us like 40 minutes, including the congestion. So yeah, it's time consuming. And the second is the center communication delay. So that's what happened during the execution. And this is the Gibbs model, the 6 steps of a reflection model that we use to reflect our project. So it started with description, and then follow feelings, what we felt throughout the activity, throughout the visit, and then followed by evaluation, what we can analyze, you know, and then conclusion, and also action plan for future. Now we go one by one for the Gibbs model. The first one is description. Of course, our description is about our 5 memorable visit, and also we realize that interpersonal skills are vital, of course, you know, in leadership, you know, communication. And what we felt throughout the visit is that we felt empathy, caring through the grandmas, and also happiness. That's what we wanted to stress out. We wanted to focus on, because we want them to feel less isolated and also feel less lonely. Now, the second one is evaluation. What we can evaluate is that we wanted to believe that we have improved our communication skill with older generation. This is because why we say so is because every time we ended our session, at the end of the visit, right, the grandma will ask us, bila nak datang lagi, you know, like when is the visit, when is the next visit. They're really looking out for us to talk with him, to bercerita with them, you know. So next one is what we can analyze is the element of cleanliness and shortage of staff. Now this one for us is very important, because when it comes to with elderly, with older people, cleanliness is the vital. Okay, this I noticed is when once I entered their kitchen, the first word I can think of is whoa, because the condition. But I didn't say it out loud, I just keep it in my heart because I'm just an outsider after all. But they themselves pointed out, I'm sorry, the condition is like this because we are short of staff, The staff there, 4 of them, is only to monitor the grandma, not for the condition of the center. So, yeah. Next is conclusion. What we learned that there is a huge culture in such loving communities and upbringing and environment offer. And our action plan is that we would like to involve more the community services project if we were given a chance to do so. So next is recommendation. Recommendation, we have 4 here, 2 for our colleague, maybe for our junior if they wanted to carry on with our project. The 2, 3, 4 is for the center. Now, for our colleague, we would like to suggest them to find a suitable time to visit the old folks home because our time to visit them is at 2 to 5. So during at 2 to 2:30, it's quite, it's not that suitable because during that time, usually people are taking nap time, so they are not very energetic to join our activity, but doesn't matter. And then the second is communicate with the center early. This is to combat our challenges just now where delay from the center. And then hire sufficient amount of staff to improve the well-being of the residents. This is just what I mentioned just now in our reflection to combat the shortage of staff. And then to provide training for the staff in assisting to boost the elderly physical state and emotion. So I think that's all from my team. I ended my presentation with a little bit of footage of our visits. Here.
Sekarang kita hanya buka di bahagian bawah sahaja. Bahagian atas kita buka lagi sikit. Pusat jagaan ni kalau ikutkan ni dekat sini mostly bedridden.
Okay dah. Dating dengan siapa? Adilah.
Naik motor.
Tak ada yang nombor.
Peace, serious. Peace. Cantik ni. Tengok ni kek. Kek beri semasha green tea. Kek hijau. Cantik terus. Bangkok.
Lah. Dia jangan tak suka ambil gambar. Tak apa, kita ambil banyak-banyak.
Jangan nombor ni. No.
Thank you.
Boleh tanya, which one do you prefer, in English or in Bahasa? I'm going to ask you either.
Okay, in Bahasa then.
In Bahasa, well, we'll just say it out, yeah. So, thank you very much for your presentation. That was a commendable effort of this group of students that went there. Now, I'm just wondering, maybe I'm not knowledgeable about this. This is the first time I'm involved with Sulam. You are all from early childhood education. Why did you choose this target instead of children or carers or parents? I mean, it's based on the emotional, but why do you choose the elderly instead?
Okay, there are two reasons. The first one is because the rest of the groups of our classmates already choose children for their project. And the second is because we wanted to improve our ability in communicate with elderly. Because when we go through with our members, our relationship with our grandparents, we don't know how to communicate well with them. So through this project, we perhaps wanted to improve on that.
Yeah, but I would say that it would be better for you to, have a program with the carers, for example, to know the emotional needs of the children rather than this, because that would enhance your the development of you as you move into your course. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if I sound very cruel, but I am cruel. Yeah, and the thing is because to me that if you have only just 10 of them inside there and they're all bedridden, and I think that will not give you that much impact, you know. Only your feeling lah, your own emotional feeling, but their feeling may be not the same as you. Yeah. So, and the other one is, if you're choosing this orang tua, there are so many around here, and why are you going to Keramat there on, Section 4, just next door us here, we have several here.
Yeah, we do contact.
Because I work with them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there are many around here that will save you time, and I'm not sure here whether you went for 3 visits or 5 visits, because the report says sometimes 3 visits and then it's 5 visits. Yeah, you write the report. Yeah, your group write the report. So I read the report anyway. Okay. And then the other one is from the time because one of your complaints was from the time that you started, you don't have much time. When did you communicate with them formally or informally, and when did you receive the reply?
The reply of
yeah, because I'm sure you write formally after you have done the initial visit, isn't it? Your visit scouting. We call it scouting, and then after that you will write off formally. And then from that time, and the time because you have very short space of time, I see here in your report to do your many things, yeah. And of course, the other thing is I want to ask you, why do you choose henna? And I'm just curious. Did you do a need assessment to know what exactly that they need? But it's creative lah. I'm not sure. Creative, that's good. But I just am curious, Why do you choose henna instead of any other things,
Well, we chose henna because most of the nenek there, they suffer dementia. So in order to combat the loneliness, we will ask them about when's the last time you put henna, because henna is we girls love henna, so it's reminiscing. Nenek dulu pakai masa kahwin. Oh really? So like who apply for you? My kakak. So it's fun.
You make them feel good lah, because you beautify them for the day. We did that sometime before. Okay, yes. My advice, this is my advice, if you are going to pursue this, actually I have just one more question. What is your follow-up after this? Because you were saying that they were saying that bila nak datang lagi, you know, that kind of stuff. So that means they expect you guys to come back. Ada ke rancangan untuk anda ataupun kumpulan anda ataupun fakulti anda atau unit mana-mana department yang akan menyambung program ini?
Buat masa ni tak ada lagi. Mungkin we will suggest to them to carry on with this project. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Dah habis dah. Can I just ask? Oh, tiga loceng dah habis. Tak sempat Q&A. Very important question because I hope the rest. Okay. Congratulations to your team. Yeah, you all brought some light to the senior citizens. Okay, my question is, the philosophy behind Sulam is applying what you learn in your class to the community to bring an impact. So my question is, what did you learn in your courses that you brought out here? Because you're telling your early childhood and TESOL here. So what did you learn that you could bring there? And number two, you need special impact or special consideration when you go to this kind of homes. What did your group learn or prepare yourself before going to such places? Because it's not easy, you know, and it's not like your early childhood. It's a skill that you need. So my first question and second question, this is very important for all the groups. What did you learn in your course, in your program, for you to apply in the society? Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, so for the first question, what we learn is generally love. Because
Sorry, in your courses.
in my courses,
That means what you learned in your early childhood, in your TESOL, that you're applying now. That is the philosophy behind Sulam. And if you did not get that, it becomes volunteer work, it becomes community service, you know, anything else. So that is what we are trying to instill in you. Anywhere you go, what you learn, you apply. Yeah, that's what I want to know. What course, what did you apply, and how did you apply here?
what I apply is how we face with a lot of generation. I'm from early childhood, and we are doing a project with older people. So both of them, what we believe is they are very innocent, sensitive. So what we learn and what we apply is through giving love and be patient in communicating with them, because our elderly, what we prepared before we meet them is, I always remind my team members is, whatever happened, just keep it inside. We just smile and just be happy, because they don't know, they don't really understand us because they suffered dementia. So whatever, if they are rude to you, leave it, don't take it to your heart. Okay, so yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
Terima kasih kumpulan pertama di atas pembentangan sebentar tadi. Untuk pengetahuan semua, pertandingan Projek Sulam 2023 ini juga boleh ditonton secara langsung di YouTube Universiti Malaya. Sebelum itu, selamat datang saya ucapkan kepada para penonton secara maya kita yang bersama-sama bagi majlis kita pada hari ini. Untuk pengetahuan semua juga, majlis akan ditangguhkan sebentar selepas setiap pembentangan untuk memberi ruang kepada para juri untuk menilai kumpulan pembentangan tersebut. Berjumpa selepas lagi.
wonder actually how does blind people see the world? Do they see actually a total blindness of darkness, or they ever see a strike of light? The thing is, we don't know. But one thing for sure that we know, they see nothing. So how does this type of community do a simple thing in their life? For example, flossing and brushing. That's an interesting question to ask, isn't it? Hi, my name is Habib Firzik, this is Hafizuddin, and that is Aisha. We will be represent one of the projects dedicated to the community that we call Projek Sulam. Good morning to our distinguished judges, audience, and also our colleague. So in front of you are illustration made of one of our teammates dedicated to this project. So project matters as implied as its name, matter, and I. But in this team, we're talking about assess, teach, apply, motivate, and maintain in terms of oral health education. Next, this is a topic outline for our presentation today. This is a line of people that are responsible to making this project a successful event. Next, in the new era, dentistry are approaching a best evidence-based approach. So we have gathered a lot of evidence, for example, from local and national resources. For example, the finding in here, 30% of visual impaired children had poor and very poor oral hygiene status. And also another article talking about all 10 visually impaired participants were not brushing their teeth systematically, where some of the surface were not brushed. In conclusion, both this article talking about how a visual impaired condition will affect the quality of life in terms of oral health. Next, in Malaysia itself, we already have 55,000 blind people are registered under Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. Next, after a long planning and discussion, we decided to go to the Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Pendidikan Khas Setapak. Why we did choose this school? I'll tell you already, dentistry are approaching evidence-based approach. So this is evidence that we have that's published by our own Faculty of Dentistry, University Malaya, by Prof. Rostan of Dental Health Public Education. This topic entitled Oral Hygiene Practice Among the Visually Impaired Adolescent. As you can see in the first picture, that is how close they have to see to the toothbrush, just to see if there are any toothpaste on the toothbrush. And the second picture shows the improper holding of the toothbrush, which will affect the oral hygiene overall everyday daily life. Next. We're talking about challenges. The moment we pick this group, we understand that we can face challenges, not only for us to deliver the education, but also for them to receive an education. For example, as you can see, for visually impaired challenges for the student, the inability to see presentation slide or dental model, and second, difficulty visualizing dental condition. They never see their own oral condition in the mouth. Even our patients that have normal eyes can ever see at the back of their mouth. So how about them? So we understand this issue and we're gonna address the issue. Next, our challenge is to deliver oral health education. For example, effective method to deliver oral health education, we understand the limitation of visual, so what we did, we improve. We're going to use a different method. Next, limited budget. As audience information, we understand that Braille are expensive. Next, we're talking about time limitation. We only have 15 people, but we're going to do an approach to our almost 51 students who are visually impaired. Next, after a full assessment, we're going to go to the situation analysis.
So ladies and gentlemen, let me proceed with our situation analysis divided into 3 parts: demography, methods, and also problems. For demography, our programs has total participations of 51 students, age ranging from 14 to 16 years old. Some of them have multiple disabilities, more than just visually impaired students. Then they are divided into 2 categories. B1, the fully blind, about 25 of them, and B2, partially blind, about 26 of them. And most of them coming from B40 income class. This is our methods performed throughout the programs. The first one will be survey. You can see these 2 surveys that we use during the programs. The surveys are constructed based on 3 elements, which are the knowledge, behavior, and also attitudes. And the major findings that we can find among these students throughout the surveys, first in terms of knowledge, you can see that most of them does not know the existence of floss, have no idea of what plaque is, and they thought that gum bleeding is normal, and also they thought that sugars affects the gums. In terms of attitudes, most of them, they practice rinsing after brushings, they never floss before, they brush less than 2 minutes, and they practice high sugars and snacking throughout their daily lives. And in terms of behavior, 60% of them only do checkup when it's needed. Next will be clinical examinations that we perform during the programs. First will be the MFT. It's actually an assessment to assess the prevalence of caries or tooth decays, decayed, missing, fail, and total. And next will be plaque score, assessment to detect amount of plaque that stick on every tooth surface. We count on them by staining them with a dimethylene blue. Plaque itself is actually just accumulations of bacteria and foods after you eat something. So this is what we obtained from both clinical assessment. For the plaque score, almost half of the students, they have more than 90% of their teeth surface covered by plaque, which is very, very poor. The normal is only 30%. Next is DMFT. 17 students have DMFT more than 3. This raised an alarm of their ineffectiveness in oral hygiene.
Next, after full assessment, we understand we're going to need to come up with a plan to tackle this issue. So we list out our priority as our objective and a strategy to achieve objective. These is some of our objectives. First, to increase awareness and knowledge about oral health. Second, to foster a positive attitude toward the importance of oral health. And third, form effective dental care practice among visually impaired high school students. And we have to build our own strategy, so because we understand the limitation on visual, so what we did, we improvised. We used the method of tactile, we used the method of hearing, and we used the method of small group and individual approach. Next, I would like happy to present our partnership. We did two kinds of partnership with industrial sponsorship and also for volunteerism. First, I would like to talk about industrial sponsorship. Our project able to get the attraction from the big company in the dental world. For example, Aquapeak, Oral 7, Saspa, and 3M. I will give you an example. As you can see for Aquapeak, they're able to provide us 4 unit Aquapeak oral irrigator that worth 3,000 ringgit Malaysia. And also for SM, able to provide us fluoride, which is important as preventive measure and to prevent caries. Next, this is the item that we put in the goodie bag. This is specifically selected item not only important for oral health, but also this is a valuable considering they are from a B40 community. Next, I will talk about volunteerism. Our group understand there were limitations in terms of resource of manpower. So what we did we give up? Never. So what we do, we recruit as much volunteer that we have. In this case, we take from year 1 and year 2 dental student, University Malaya itself. This is a certificate of recognition that will be given to them at the end of the project. So these are the faces that have been with us since day 1 in order to make this project a success.
So from the situational analysis, we already identify what's the problem for us to tackle during the intervention. Next. So these are the strategies that we need. For example, we have 3 elements. The first element would be the tactile sensation. Why is it important? Because for everyone already know, they already lost of their visibility. So this is important as a main senses. So what we can appreciate from the slide, so the first one, we come out with our products, which is a dental cast that consists of oral disease. So from here, we can see there is a plaque and also the calculus, or we call it as karang-gigi. So what we did was we provide this to the student, and they need to, they can appreciate it by touching it and feel it. So this is very beneficial for them. And next, we have a floss. So for the flossing model, we make it a big one because they never seen any previously. So they cannot imagine things. So that's the reason why we make it big, so that they understand the anatomy of it, and then they can appreciate it before they can practice it in their mouth. And last but not least, we also have the tactile with the poster that being imprinted as a braille. And next senses, next component would be the hearing. This also the most main one. So how we tackle the hearing, because we also produce a product that contains the QR code together with the voiceover, because when they already lost of one of their visual, this will be one of also their main. And then last but not least, the strategies that we tackle is we divided, when we're doing the activities, we divided these people into a small group and also the individual. So from the pictures, we can appreciate that. This one, we also can see a multiple island that consists of two facilitators together with around 5 to 6 people in one groups. And this is for the B2 groups, which is partially blind. While for those who come with the fully blind, we made intervention by having one-to-one teaching. And to sum up, this is the activities that we did during the intervention day. The first one would be the interactive talk, and to our surprise, the interactive talk really become very interactive on that day. So what we did was, while we are giving them the talk, we also provide them the dental cast there, so that they can have a feel with their hands, because they cannot imagine, and our objective can be achievable. And we also have a demo regarding the oral disease, toothbrushing demo, and also the flossing demo. And next, we have a topical fluoride application, which will benefit in terms of prevention of progression of dental disease. And then we also have the water flossing demo and the demonstration for the teachers and the warden that will be beneficial for the sustainability. And here are our products that we will give off to the school. So the first one would be the community booklet. This will be beneficial as a tool for the teachers to educate their students in the classroom. And it comes with two versions. The blue colors was the latest version where we improvise in terms of the quality and also based on the content of it, where we focus more on the causes, management, and also preventive measure in relation to the oral health. And we also, for each of the booklet, it comes with the QR code that contains the voiceover. And next, we have a poster. So for the poster, we already sent this design to the school and the teachers for it to be printed as a braille. And next, we also have a flossing model, but during the making the flossing model, we have few of limitation due to the restriction in the budgets. But we already have find a way to tackle this method. So what we did was, will be explained later by my fellow colleagues. And then last, we have the already discussed model that comes together with the QR code for this model. So how these people are going to have able to scan this one? So what we did was, we include the green stick at the borders of the QR code so that they can use it as a tactile sensation to notify, to locate the location of the QR. Next.
Next, I will talk about our sustainability of the project. First is the product. As explained by amazing colleague just now, the product that we designed and created are tested are beneficial toward oral health education for visually impaired student. Next, we'll talk about collaboration with teacher. We're not only going to teach the student, isn't it? So we're going to teach us, because teacher and the staff are medium of communication. They are the ones that are going to educate and reinforce the existing and future student in regard of their oral care and self-care. Next, I will talk about our continuation of project. This project matter have been awarded by UMK Community Grant of 20,000 ringgit Malaysia, because I believe that see the potential in the project for the future investment, and we decided and plan to use that money to expand the booklet of serial braille book with voiceover and convert the floss model into 3D printing tools model that will be more sustainable. Next, we'll talk about impact of the community.
So for the impact of the community, we assess through the three things, through the survey, clinical examination, and also the reflection. So based on this data, we can see the 81.3% students already show the reduction of the PLUS score, which can be reflected through the increase in their knowledge regarding gum disease, where everyone got the correct answer. And also the improvement on their practice, such as frequency of toothbrushing, the usage of fluoride toothpaste, the usage of flossing, duration of toothbrushing, and the dietary habits, and also snacking habit. So what I can conclude that this event is a successful.
Next slide goes to the reflections.
Bagi saya bermanfaat sebab saya dapat banyak dapat tahu banyak benda lah pasal gigi ni. Macam pasal cash gigi, kerang gigi. Saya improve macam cara mengurus gigi. Lepas tu kurangkanlah makanan-makanan yang membuatkan gigi rosak semua. Dia bagi saya lah yang kita boleh improve untuk masa depan, macam meningkatkan lagi lah program ni, rasanya dekat sekolah-sekolah lain. Sebab program ni memang bermanfaat and memang patut diluaskan lah.
Ialah kami dapat mempelajari apa punca-punca gigi rosak, cara menggunakan water floss ni. Dulu saya ingat water floss ni guna waktu dekat klinik je. Tapi rupanya ada juga yang kecil kita ni boleh guna kat rumah. Macam pasti cara guna dia pun mudah, macam sangat bagus lah sebab kami dapat mempelajari semua benda pasal kaitan dengan gigi. Saya rasa program ni dah cukup bagus lah. Tak tahu lagi apa yang perlu di-improve. Sebab program ni sangat bagus lah, menarik. Saya harap ada lagi lah.
Yang ni lagi bagus daripada yang lama. Sebab yang ni dia cara penjelasan dia saya boleh memahami lah. Kalau yang sebelum ni agak susah nak faham. Betul-betul.
betul ilmu tak ada. Bagi saya kalau boleh setiap minggu. Oh, setiap minggu.
So ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to the impacts of the program toward ourselves as a student. First, it helps to enrich our knowledge as a students about various approach to apply the learned knowledge that we learned in Year 3 Dental Public Health modules to the specific target groups. Also increase our communication skills and raise awareness about the needs of this community, especially the visual impaired students. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to explain to you and portray our sincere reflections of these programs. We understand that we lack resources, especially in terms of experience and handling and teaching the disabled communities. So we keep asking ourselves, can we really make a difference? Yes, we can. We definitely can. And we actually did. Even a small thing like teaching them how plaque is formed, flossing and brushing can make such a huge difference in their life in terms of quality of oral health. We knew we're able to lay the foundations for learning to act in a way that has never been done towards them before. So we're able to adapt and are various techniques that we use, such as focusing on tactile, hands-on, and hearing in order to give them the best informations. This project also allows us to meet and learn from a range of blind teenagers, and working with them, to be honest, is such a humbling experience. We went there with a mindset to teach and educate, but it turns out they are the ones that teach us more about lives. And this project will certainly forever be close to our heart. With that, thank you.
Okay, congratulations to the team who have done the project. I've got one question here. Okay, how much was your impact in deciding the place, and what was your role? Because you did mention that this is a care project, so probably it's under your professor or your lecturer. So where is your role about choosing the place, and how were you empowered in this entire project? That's my question.
Actually, this project is the Sulam project that we as a group decided to do. Regarding the Cares project, it's one of the grant that our lecturer supervisors pitch, and it's related to this one. So it's a different stories. That one just to help us to increase the sustainability of the whole project in long-term success.
This project has been built a foundation for a different kind of project that can be more aware to the all kind of area, because right now we're currently focusing on the KL because we only have one blind school. But with the new project or Care under with 20K grant, we're able to expand our project. Thank you.
Okay, excellent project, and I'm happy to see the project that this is very impactful to you and also to the students. My question is that if you can give advice to your fellow dental colleague who wanted to take on this project in the future, what would be the one advice that's very important that you will deliver to them?
Okay, I'll answer this question with my own experience. The first day I went there, one thing I learned is to be empathy. Empathy is very easy for us to say, I can put myself in your shoes without even understand what is that person have been through. And when the first day I went there, they are actually doing their daily activities, but what differs is that they are talking and communicate, but they are looking at different directions. They are walking everywhere, but they know where to go. So I learned to adapt to in that environments. Wherever they want to go, offer a help. Wherever you see that they're struggling to answer your question, simplify your questions, give them confidence, and encourage them to answer more. So we learn a lot to be true, empathic, and adapt to the specific condition, especially with the special needs community.
My advice will be understand your limitation, because all of us are the student to do a lot of 51. So what we did actually, we understand our problem, we adapt and we admit it, and we improve. We search for volunteers to do it. For example, for the questionnaire session, they took a lot of us to actually do it. And for the individual, actually, it's a hands-on experience that 13 people were not able to do it, because this is blind, we consider high-risk patients. So for them, it's easier for us to do in a small group, which reduce the chair time, which increase the comfortability of the patients. So we understand this as a future dental surgeon to approach our patient in a more holistic way, not only in terms of treatment, but also in terms of social of the patients and regard of their physical ability. Thank you.
What year are you?
I'm currently a year 4 dental student.
Fourth year student?
4th year.
Yeah, it's part of your curriculum, isn't it? It's compulsory.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that. I won't ask you any more questions because I know what you are doing, so it's not fair. Very nice presentation. Congratulations. And of course, you're using a style of having 3 speakers, yeah? So, and that's quite difficult to interact with each other in this one. But one thing, my advice is this, and I'm going to be cheeky about this, yeah? Your questionnaire just now about the survey, if I were you, because you are imposing on them, because they are blind, how do they know that the teeth are clean? Do you know? You are looking at using the plug identification, but you alone know what is the score. They cannot see, you see. So maybe you should do a little bit thinking of that and then asking in the question, just a throw question, how do they know whether they don't know they are clean or not? We have done a study on that, yeah. That's why I was UKM student, so I know what I'm talking about. It's very, very interesting. And then that's when you can tailor-make the toothbrushing because they wouldn't know. You can guide them, but that would be something that you want to think about. Okay, thank you so much.
I would like to add something. We not only apply small group and individual, we also divided them into low risk and high risk. High risk, we discuss it based on the blood score, so we divide them to different type of category and different facilitator, which someone that are able to perform it hands-on. So I think it would be great also because you know.
Yeah, but you give it a thought because there are other ways of them doing it in terms of knowing whether they're clean or not, you know. So that would be a little study by itself, but it would be very nice if you have. And the other thing that I forgot now, I remembered, you produce books, yeah? You produce books. I suppose the poster is meant for the teachers and the parents, yeah, because they cannot see unless they are half blind. The other one is, of course, you are doing the books for the teachers' use. Why not you work with the blind punya sekolah dekat YMCA Brickfields and ask them to turn that into braille? Then you can put in the library.
We actually have plan on that. We already have a discussion with MAB to produce a braille. But for now, we're able to get the braille from the school itself. But our limitation is on money because, for example, one picture costs around 20 ringgit and one page around 10 ringgit. So for the book like that, it might cost 300 ringgit per one. We want to produce in a mass production also. It will be used for not only for blind people. So. For that lah.
Projek by itself, ya, minta UMCAS duit macam mana nak buat braille satu. Yang kedua tu, you can ask your sponsors.
Okay.
Ask your sponsor. There are people willing to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I just want to say, just now you said this is for the one that can see. This also will be braille letter for them to see, to feel. And this poster has been designated. It's a simple design procedure. We have to have a distinguished space in every single word and adjust the adjustment of the braille for development. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih kumpulan kedua di atas pembentangan yang diberikan. kita mendengar pembentangan dari kumpulan ketiga dari Akademi Pengajian Islam dengan tajuknya Interaktif Halal Projek. Interhall yang diketuai oleh Saudara Muhammad Fazil bin Ai. Dipersilakan.
Bismillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Salatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Penghargaan dan juga dedikasi ditujukan kepada barisan juri dan juga rakan-rakan dikasihi sekalian. Izinkan saya untuk menyampaikan satu potong hadis daripada Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam daripada Nu'man bin Bashir, minta maaf. Menjelaskan bahawa Rasulullah SAW telah bersabda bahawa yang halal itu jelas, yang haram itu juga jelas. Namun di antara keduanya ada sesuatu yang samar-samar, kita panggil syubhat. Sesiapa yang berhati-hati terhadap perkara tersebut, maka dia telah menyelamatkan dirinya dan juga maruahnya. Adapun sesiapa yang terjerumus ataupun melakukan perkara yang samar-samar itu, dia telah menggolongkan diri dia dalam orang yang berada dalam kesesatan. Daripada hadis ini menjadi asas kepada kami untuk membentuk satu program yang kita namakan Interaktif Halal Projek. Secara ringkasnya, asas kepada projek ini dirujuk daripada subjek fiqh halal wal haram fil Islam yang kami ambil di Akademi Pengajian Islam. Pensyarah kami sendiri, Dr. Nur Hidayah binti Fauzi bersama kami selaku penyelia dan juga penyelaras subjek. Kami telah mengadakan program ini pada 10 Jun 2 minggu yang lalu pada hari Sabtu. Dan pihak yang terlibat kami sendiri, pelajar yang mengambil subjek tersebut seramai 38 orang sebagai urus setia dan juga fasilitator kepada projek ini. Projek ini telah terlibat sama dengan pihak Sekolah Menengah Agama Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur, yang mana mereka telah memberikan kami untuk mengadakan program ini bersama 109 orang pelajar yang mengambil yang mempunyai latar belakang syariah. Jadi di sini kami juga melibatkan satu pihak yang menjadi rujukan kepada kami, iaitu Universiti Malaya Halal Research Center, di mana mereka terlibat sama dalam merangka modul dan juga memberikan panduan kepada kami untuk melaksanakan program ini. Isu yang menjadi asas kepada program ini adalah yang pertama sekali berkenaan kesedaran ataupun pengetahuan kita tentang halal dan haram itu sendiri. Adanya konsep halal dan haram dalam kehidupan kita, dan kalau kita boleh datangkan satu persoalan, adakah halal ini semata-mata pada logo pack makanan kita yang kita beli di kedai-kedai? Pastinya bukanlah itu sahaja konsep ini diketengahkan. Bahkan perkara ini dapat dibincangkan lebih luas lagi daripada konsep hiburannya, cara pemakaian dan sebagainya. Dan yang kedua, kami kecilkan skop pentingnya konsep ini kepada para remaja yang pada masa kini kita tahu mudah sekali terdedah dengan pengaruh-pengaruh budaya luar. Maka di sini konsep halal dan haram amatlah dititik beratkan. Objektif kami daripada isu yang kami ketengahkan di sini, yang pertama sekali adalah kami cuba sampaikan kesedaran kepada pelajar dan juga peserta yang terlibat akan pentingnya konsep halal dan haram dalam kehidupan kita. Seterusnya, ini adalah satu peluang untuk kami memberikan pendedahan bukan setakat adanya perbincangan tentang konsep itu sendiri, namun konsep ini telah diketengahkan di pihak industri. Dan dengan adanya penglibatan daripada pusat penyelidikan, kami yakin kami mampu untuk menyampaikan objektif ini yang lebih berkesan. Dan yang terakhir sekali adalah satu kebolehpasaran graduan akan penglibatan mereka dalam industri ini. Kita tahu yang terlibat sama dalam program ini adalah kami sendiri pelajar daripada pengajian syariah. Maka ini adalah satu peluang untuk kami menyampaikan kepada audiens dan juga para pendengar yang terlibat sama dalam program ini untuk terbuka dan melihat bahawa industri halal ini telah berperanan di dalam khususnya negara kita. Kami bahagikan projek ini rinciannya kepada 3 fasa utama. Yang pertama adalah fasa persediaan, di mana kami mampu mengadakan mesyuarat perkumpulan sesama kami sebanyak 10 kali, dan ini penting untuk persediaan kami menghadapi program yang bakal menjelang nanti. Kemudian kita telah adakan satu lawatan ke pihak sekolah dan satu kerjasama yang baik kita dapatkan daripada pihak atasan sekolah untuk kita sama-sama jalankan program ini dengan berkesan. Kemudian ada juga simulasi yang kita lakukan, dan ini kami kira penting sekali untuk memberikan satu nilai dan juga kesan yang efektif kepada pelaksanaan yang kami akan jalankan. Seterusnya pada fasa yang kedua, iaitu fasa pelaksanaan, dan ini pasti yang menjadi persoalan dan juga menjadi keutamaan kepada kami, di mana di dalam projek ini kami bahagikannya kepada 3 teras utama, iaitu adanya slot pengisian. Dan di sini kami bawakan seorang yang tidak asing lagi di dunia penyelidikan halal, Dr. Zalina binti Zakaria, dan ini adalah satu penghormatan buat beliau. Dapatlah kami menyemput beliau untuk memberikan satu perkongsian yang paling penting dan menjadi teras utama dalam projek kami, di mana beliau sendiri yang merupakan ketua penyelidikan di universiti kita telah menyampaikan peri pentingnya konsep yang kami pelajari sendiri di dalam dewan kuliah, dan ini merupakan peluang yang terbaik untuk memberikan pendedahan yang sama juga kepada para audiens kita. Daripada rentetan daripada pengisian tersebut, kami bawakan kepada slot yang kedua, iaitu interactive station, di mana pada slot yang kedua ini kita adakan satu kelainan daripada kebiasaan yang kita cuba bawakan, di mana para pelajar yang telah menerima info dan maklumat daripada slot pengisian tersebut kita pecahkan kepada beberapa kumpulan dan juga stesen-stesen yang kita telah tetapkan, isu yang kita tetapkan, antaranya apa itu halal, apa itu haram, apa itu yang kita tahu tentang najis, bagaimana pula cara untuk membersihkannya dan sebagainya. Dan di sini adalah peluang untuk mereka memahami dan cuba sampaikan pula kepada rakan-rakan dan juga FESI yang kita sama-sama susun untuk bantu mereka. Dan yang terakhir sekali adanya satu slot yang terakhir, iaitu Explorers, di mana mereka juga dibahagikan kepada beberapa kumpulan, dan penglibatan yang paling penting adalah daripada pihak fasilitator kami sendiri untuk libatkan mereka dalam aktiviti ini, memberi peluang kepada mereka untuk menyampaikan juga apa yang mereka telah terima daripada pengisian, dan juga satu peluang untuk mereka dapatkan nilai kepimpinan melalui aktiviti-aktiviti yang kita jalankan. Dan yang terakhir sekali adalah refleksi, di mana di balik projek yang kita telah jalankan ini ada 3 teras utama yang kita bawakan, dan yang paling penting sekali yang pertama adalah nilai pengetahuan, di mana kami sebagai fasilitator mampu untuk memberi ruang dan peluang kepada para pelajar, audiens terutamanya, untuk mereka dikongsikan dengan apa yang kita telah terima di dewan kuliah. Dan ini satu platform yang terbaik, di mana mereka juga diberikan kesempatan untuk menyampaikan apa yang telah mereka terima kepada rakan-rakan mereka. Kemudian nilai yang kedua adalah nilai kemahiran, dan ini juga kami nilai sebagai satu yang penting, di mana kemahiran yang kita telah capai adalah satu kemahiran untuk berkomunikasi secara berkesan. Melalui interactive station tadi, kita dapat lihat pelajar mampu untuk menyampaikan apa yang mereka telah terima dan menjawab segala persoalan yang bahkan rakan-rakan mereka tanya dan apa yang juga kita persoalkan. Kemudian terakhir sekali adalah nilai sikap. Dan di sini kami dapat nilai bahawa pelajar kami sendiri sebagai SESI mampu untuk memberi bimbingan yang baik kepada mereka dan hasilnya mereka juga mampu untuk menyampaikan maklumat yang dengan berkesan dan juga adalah nilai kepimpinan daripada aktiviti-aktiviti yang telah kita susun di dalam Exploris. Saya ingat kita sama-sama dapat tonton bingkisan yang telah kita sediakan. Mungkin sekadar itu saja pembentangan daripada kami. Maaf atas kekurangan dan terima kasih atas ruang dan peluang yang telah diberikan. Kami buka kepada sesi soal jawab.
Okay, terima kasih kerana pembentangan yang dilaksanakan. Soalan daripada saya, apa sebenarnya skop projek ini dan bagaimana kamu tentukan skop projek itu? Kalau kita nak kata konsep pengenalan kepada konsep halal dan haram, skop kamu adakah food, halal haram dalam pemakanan, pemakaian ataupun pergaulan sosial? Okay, dan bagaimana kamu, the activities that you did berkaitan dengan project scope? Did you do kind of need analysis to that students and then you come up with the project activities? Okay.
Kita semua jelas konsep halal dan haram ni memang sangat luas dan banyak skop yang terlibat, dan apa yang kami susun adalah yang utamanya berkenaan konsep itu sendiri. Daripada slot pengisian, disampaikan tentang asas kepada halal dan haram dan bagaimana konsep tersebut dimainkan di industri. Dan mereka diberi dan di sini ringkasnya kami boleh katakan konsep yang dibawa adalah untuk memberi pendedahan kepada pelajar akan bagaimana industri bergerak, dan daripada apa yang dibawakan industri, konsep asasnya adalah halal dan haram itu sendiri. Dan di sini antara yang dibawakan, kita tak mampu untuk katakan kami hanya membawakan konsep makanan sahaja, kerana di sana juga kami bawakan tentang halal dan haram di dalam kosmetik dan juga di dalam pengurusan. Dan bagaimana program yang kami jalankan ini mampu untuk sampaikan nilai-nilai skop tersebut, kami kira daripada yang utamanya adalah bagaimana mereka menerima info tersebut, dan daripada ruang yang kita berikan di dalam slot yang kedua berupa interactive station, sesama rakan mereka cuba sampaikan apa yang mereka telah terima dan mereka fahami daripada konsep yang telah dibawakan berkenaan halal dan haram di dalam makanan, kosmetik dan juga pengurusan.
Terima kasih ya. Konsep halal dan haram ni sangat rapat pada saya ya, sebab dari dah dekat 10 tahun saya terlibat dengan JAIS dan JAKIM. Dan saya sebagai non-Muslim sentiasa ditanya soalan bila pergi overseas ke, even with our neighbouring countries. Soalan saya, mengapa sasaran you all sekolah agama? Sebab untuk saya, my sasaran will be a sekolah kepelbagaian budaya, kepelbagaian etnik, barulah yang Islam akan mendalami, yang bukan Islam akan mula menyedar. Dan that is the reason why I terlibat dengan JAIS dan JAKIM. Sebab fokus saya 3 je, makanan, pakaian dan pergaulan sosial, you know, sentuhan, things like that. And itu 3 pun di Malaysia sampai sekarang tak tercapai. So my question is, why did you go to a Islamic school yang memang akan belajar dari kanak-kanak, sekolah menengah dia mula akan fikir, dan masa dia dewasa dia akan jalankan. So why did you focus on a Islamic school, not a multicultural school?
Wawasan yang kami bawa di sini adalah satunya mereka merupakan pelajar yang latar belakangnya pengajian Islam juga, dan kita tak mampu kita tak boleh nafikan Malaysia sebagai peneraju kepada bidang ini. Namun apa yang kita dapat lihat di sini adalah potensi yang mereka ada, di mana kami sendiri kalau boleh kita kongsikan daripada dulu berlatar belakangkan pengajian Islam juga. Kemudian di peringkat tinggi ini kami mempelajari tentang bidang syariah juga. Namun di kalangan kami juga masih belum ada kesedaran tentang adanya industri ini, dan rupanya industri ini sangat penting. Potensi ini pun kita lihat, dan kita ambillah satu wawasan daripada peribahasa melentur buluh belah daripada rebungnya. Maka di sini kami cuba suntikkan pengetahuan dan kefahaman mereka sejak daripada awal, supaya mereka ini potensinya mampu untuk melanjutkan pengajian mereka di tingkat yang lebih tinggi, khususnya dalam bidang ini. Semoga dengan adanya minat daripada mereka ini, kita mampu untuk sebar luaskan lagi daripada asas yang mereka ada. Mereka mampu binakan kefahaman dan penguasaan, dan ini merupakan peluang yang terbaik untuk mereka lah. Sampaikan juga ke mata dunia, insyaAllah.
Terima kasih di atas pembentangan saudara dan rakan-rakan. Tapi saya minta maaf dulu ya. I'm going to be very direct ya, dan mungkin mencuit hati. Saya setuju dengan teman-teman sejawat saya. Yang pertama sekali, awak ni merambang. You konsep tu budak sekolah agama pun tahu semua. Tak patut tak tahu. Okey? Kenapa tak berani keluar ke Pompong pergi sekolah ke agama macam mana tadi Prof cakap tu, dan pergi kepada sekolah-sekolah yang biasa. Budak-budak, kalau nak cari budak Islam pun budak dekat dari sekolah biasa, bukan daripada sekolah agama. Sebab tu dulu saya scared, saya tak bagi budak API ambil kad. Ya. I'm cruel, ya. So I tak bagi you all ambil kad sebab you all dah tahu. So it's the same thing. Kenapa you tak berani keluar daripada kepompong you tu pergi ke tempat lain? They are the one who need more than sekolah-sekolah agama because they have the basic, ya. Yang kedua tu saya nak tanya, kenapa you tak buat, misalkan ya, saya tak nampak yang lain pun evaluasi. Your evaluation tu apa sebenarnya? Keberkesanan berdasarkan kepada program yang dilakukan dengan kos tenaga, kos, money, tenaga. Macam mana keberkesanannya? Saya tak nampak penilaian yang you buat evaluation tu.
Untuk yang pertama, kami sedar potensi ini sebenarnya bukanlah untuk pelajar yang berlatarkan pengajian Islam sahaja. Namun di pihak kami sendiri, mungkin kita boleh katakan ini adalah peluang yang pertama dan kami cuba untuk ketengahkan sasaran audiens kami terlebih dahulu dan kami harapkan di masa hadapan peningkatan dan juga penambahbaikan akan dapat dilaksanakan untuk mungkin pada peluang yang seterusnya dan insyaAllah kita cuba realisasikan. Adapun yang kedua, tadi berkenaan penilaian. Okay. Di sini justru kami mohon maaf, mungkin sepatutnya itulah yang kita tujukan ataupun kita tunjukkan dalam pembentangan ini. Namun mungkin kekhilafan daripada kami, andai ada peluang yang dapat lebih lagi, kita telah usahakan untuk sampaikan di media sosial melalui akaun Instagram kami. Moga di sana dapatlah juga dilihat bagaimana penerimaan daripada mereka sendiri dan juga apa yang kami sampaikan. Wallahu a'lam. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Majlis ditangguhkan seketika. perhatian kepada kumpulan keempat dari Fakulti Pergigian yang diketuai oleh Saudara Chuaran Kang. Bertajuk Smile Bright, Reach New Height. Dipersilakan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your headset. We are launching into 2080.
3, 2, 1.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I bid to the fellow judges and my fellow contestants. I am Muhammad Anas bin Abdul Hadi and this is my friend Muklis, Tan Chen Yi and Tan Kesin, and today our group is going to present on our Sulam project titled Smile Bright, Reach New Height. Now, Sulam project is a compulsory practical project placed under the DIA 4001 Committee Dentistry with the expectation that students would be able to learn the following based on the learning outcome, which is to recognize the public health importance of oral diseases and related implication, to interpret problems and public health impacts of target action groups, as well as to organize an oral health education programs on selected community. Now, to fulfill this learning outcome, we came out with a problem statement of the current oral health diseases, which is what is the prevalence of the current tooth decay and gum diseases. To our surprises, the number are still increasing despite various intervention that has been done. Now, we decided that we should tackle this problem, and Eureka! We've successfully tackled this issue by introducing virtual reality. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you know that oral health is a key indicator to the overall health, well-being, and quality of life? With that in mind, we aim to find a community that would benefit from not only enhanced oral health, but also from an improved overall well-being, physically, mentally, and psychologically. Now, this objective aligns with the third Sustainable Development Goal, which is to promote health and well-being, as well as the 10th Sustainable Development Goal, which is to reduce inequality. Hence, our target population, PERNIM. PERNIM stands for Persatuan Kebajikan Anak Pesakit HIV/AIDS Nurul Iman Malaysia. And this community meets our criteria. And there's children living with HIV and AIDS, as well as children living with them, which consists of orphans, abandoned children, undocumented children, as well as children with history of sexual assault. Now, these children, most of them present with poor oral health, and throughout our finding, most of them have tooth decay, have cavities, as well as gum diseases. And we found out that the awareness on the importance of oral health is also very low. We also have kids that are infected with HIV and AIDS, as well as kids with epilepsy, and this could increase the risk of having an oral diseases. Now, children at PERNIM also have limited access to dental health service due to some health issues, and some of them are undocumented. Now, there are also orphanage, abandoned children, and this requires special psychosocial attention and support. With good cooperation and readiness from the management of PERNIM, as well as the willingness and the motivated children who are willing to participate in our activity, we believe that our project could have a benefit outcome or have a positive impact on this community.
Let's move on to the justification. So basically, there are 4 children with HIV, 1 child with asthma, and 1 child with epilepsy. Then, for them, there are more than 95% of them have poor oral hygiene status, and all of them have dental caries. So there are only 15% of them has good oral health knowledge. And for diet-wise, they have all free access to the snacks and the sugary foods. So that all bring us to the aim and objective of our project. So our main aim of this project is to empower the children who live with the individuals that suffer from HIV and AIDS, as well as the special needs children at PERNIM, by increasing their oral health knowledge and encouraging the behaviors that related to their dental health. Next, move on to our objective. So our first objective is to provide tailored oral and general health education regarding proper oral hygiene practice and HIV-associated lesions. Number 2, we want to improve the oral health-related behaviors and skill. And lastly, we want to enhance the educational and psychological well-being aspect in terms of importance of going to school and emotional management.
Now that we know their needs and concern, now it's up to us to find a solution for them. So, who might have thought that we would find a solution in TikTok? Introducing our very first community partnerships. Natalie from Fabulous Lifetime Nutrition. So, Natalie has been consistently updating social media with her videos of sugar intake, diet, and calories in food, with over 39,000 followers. This tells us actually a big part of Malaysian is actually listening to her. So we invited her to Pernim to tackle the issue regarding diets and nutrition. She had done a very interesting activities and catch the attention of the children. Not only that, she also produced a video on TikTok that has over 20,000 views. Yay, we're famous. These are the activities that have been done. Our next community collaborators is none other than our own Pharmacy Society, University of Malaya. This is because, as my friend have touched, Pernim has the children living with HIV, epilepsy, and also asthma. It's very important for them to know the importance of adhering to medication. So we invited them, and we could not have picked a better partnership. Thirdly, we invited also early childhood education. A team member consists of 5 members. A group consists of 5 members working tightly together with a message instilled in the children importance of school. Lastly, and the most interesting one, is our 4th collaborators or community partnership, Dr. Nur Afika bint Hashim. She is a lecturer in Faculty of Engineering with specializes in virtual reality rehabilitation, prosthetic and orthotics. So she had taught everything that we know about VR, a mastermind of VR, and we're able to produce a virtual reality headset and oral health gallery that I would like to present to Josh in a few seconds. Other than that, activities that we've done a few other activities as presented in the slide and also in the table. For example, remove the plug. So we have taught the children on how it's actually a game for the children to test their knowledge on brushing technique to remove a plug. A plug is actually self-made from flour. Other than that, we also have a game called Good or Bad. Good or Bad is actually for them to apply the knowledge to differentiate between a good food and also a good food and a good risk factor or lifestyle practice than the bad practice. Now, the most anticipated one is the VR. So we would like to present to the judges the VR while we present the group.
Driving down the freeway at night, I only got one thing in the back of my mind. I'm feeling like this might be my time to shine with you, with you, with you. I got my head out the sunroof, I'm blasting our favorite tunes. I only got one thing on my mind. You got me stuck on the thought of you. You're making me feel brand new. You're more than the sunshine in my eyes.
Okay, so after the activities that have been conducted, let's look into the impacts to the community. Firstly, there's significant improvement in oral health knowledge, oral health status, and oral health status of the target group. And for the impacts on the community, firstly, the prevention of dental disease by improving their oral hygiene practice. Secondly, we educate them on HIV and AIDS. Thus, they have a better understanding of risks, routes of transmission of HIV or AIDS, thus overcoming the stigmatization of them in the community. By collaborating with the nutritionists, they've improved comprehension of balanced diet and the importance of of prevention of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart problem. Furthermore, by collaborating with the pharmacy societies, they have a deeper insights about medication dosage, storage, side effects, and the common drugs interaction. Last but not least, by collaborating with the Early Childhood Education Society, we have empowered healthier mind and soft skills, especially regarding the communication skills, emotional well-being, and also school attendance. And let's move to the reflections or the feedbacks from the participants. These are all the feedbacks from the participants, include Mustaqim, Aisha. They said that everything is well planned, and then program makes him more enthusiastic to take good care of their oral health. And for the reflections on ourselves as a students, what we have learned. First, the experiences, the precious experience. We are enabled to actively experience and use digital technology related to oral health education via virtual reality and also the educational games that we prepared. Secondly, multi-sectoral collaboration. Collaborating with the societies that I have mentioned just now, this has improved our knowledge not only in dentistry and in other disciplines as well. Furthermore, this gives us a chance to explore the digital world. We have learned new technology that may relate to dentistry in the near future. This can help us to improve our quality of service in the future. However, this also brings us the challenges during this project, which the dental students have to figure out themselves and took out these challenges. And it's very new to us to provide the virtual quality as an immersive approach in oral health education. And last but not least, we have enhanced our soft skills and also social awareness. We have developed communication skills, leadership and cooperation in dentistry, and life holistically. For the sustainability-wise, we have created a supportive environment for our target group. We have provided them with educational materials such as the VR set and also oral health corner and tools to assist them in daily oral hygiene practice. For example, oral hygiene practice stickers, self-mouth examination mirror, medication box, and poster, which we already included in the VR. And for the continuation of the project, we involve Dental Society University of Malaya, DENSOC, to uptake this as their annual project. For the potential of this project has the potential for commercialization if we take advantage of the important key factors. Firstly, it's a unique approach in increasing the awareness of giving oral health education to children with HIV or AIDS. This is an advantage as there is an increase in awareness to conduct health programs with more inclusivities. Secondly, collaborations with the organizations and societies, as mentioned just now, makes it a valuable asset in conducting a comprehensive and effective program. This has shown that there's increase in interest in other organizations and society to join us to increase the awareness related to oral health towards the community. Last but not least, the usage of virtual reality, VR, in enhancing the experiences of participants in oral health education, make it a valuable asset for further commercialization of this product. This innovative approach towards oral health education makes it an attractive value to gain attention from other organizations from different backgrounds in conducting a comprehensive programs. Let's look into other fields other than oral health education that have used VR. For instance, virtual reality technologies has been carried out by Faculty of Dentistry, University of Queensland, and also Faculty of Dentistry, National University of Singapore. They have used virtual reality technologies as an important teaching tool during their pre-clinical years. And I've been questioned by one doctor, is this VR only specified to certain age group, like children or young adults? How about the elderly or those with vision problem? Can we do that? Now I have the answer. Yes, we can do that. There's a paper published which virtual reality without vision a haptic auditory white cane to navigate complex virtual worlds. Basically, they've invented a white cane to enable the blind user to explore large virtual environments in the same way they navigate the real world by using their senses of touching and also hearing. So VR is not the future, VR is the present.
So in conclusion, I would like to say that through our project, Smile Bright Reach New Height, we believe that we have empowered the children at Pernim, and we believe that through the comprehensive oral health education that we have conducted, we have improved the dental care practices, we have increased the awareness of the risk of infections among the children, we have promoted inclusivity among the communities, as well as we have innovative and collaborative activities amongst the experts. Now, we believe that with the positive impacts, we have opened the doors to long-lasting opportunities, fostering competitive and quality generation. With continued support and cooperation, we aim to sustain these positive changes, and we also want to continue to uplifting the lives of these children. Together, I believe my team, we have created a brighter future and have brought smile to their faces. And that's all from us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your wonderful and innovative presentation. Okay, one of the aspects of philosophy of Sulam is continuous assessment. So, and this assessment comes in a triangulation form, which means you actually give of what you had gone through, what your community had gone through, and of course from your lecturers or professors in charge in the university. Can you share a bit on what did the receiving end feel? Because I did not see that anywhere. Like the children who had HIV, the children who were sick, what was the impact on them? Because I did not see that in your presentation nor in your explanation. Could you share that, please?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much for the question, Professor. So I would like to answer that question. Our aim is actually to empower, if you can go back to aims, to empower children living with HIV. So the intervention that we had done, one of the elements is in the VR itself. We have done one wall with the oral lesions and also a video on how to self-access an oral lesion inside there. And we also provide them, we provide 3 sets in the house for sustainability, and they can revise at their own time as long as they have the headset and also the phone. Actually, the headsets, they can even buy from Shopee for just 10 ringgit, and I'm sure all of them have the mobile phone. So with that, they can access at any of their convenience time. And this empower their HIV kids living with HIV to know what are their risks, and also what are the intervention needed if they found such things.
Yes, thank you, but you still haven't answered my question. What is the impact on the children? How did you evaluate how much it impacted them or their lives?
How much we evaluation?
Thank you for the question. Actually, from our feedback from the participants, which means our target group, they've given, for example, the Aisha Lu. Yeah, she is one of the HIV infected individual, and the feedback that she gave is she understands everything that we perform, we provide to them, and then everything is well planned. And because the main focus of us for the HIV patients is they have to mentally healthy, so we include the Early Childhood Education Society to focusing on the emotional well-being of themselves. And then we also, because the main focus of us as a dental student is to prevent the oral diseases that can be occurred in the HIV patients, as also shown in the big mouth over there. And for the quality of life wise, I think because our approach is more on the oral health and also the oral lesion wise, and then for the quality of life, now they are having us with the help having us as well as the help of the early childhood education. And then I think during the early childhood education, they also assess them on their daily life activities that they have been carried out, and then also their attendance in the school, like whether they are happy when they, or excited or when they are going to school. Yeah, that's what.
Okay, thank you. I think this is a good project, and you have selected very interesting or people who are being ignored for some time, and you have do something good with them. But I wonder, okay, these are kids who have parents. Are they HIV infected, or they have parents who are HIV?
Thank you so much for the question, Prof. So they are actually ranging from different backgrounds. Some of them are neglected, abandoned, and also all 40 of them are actually taken care by Puan Hajah Norlina. So their parents, some of them the children who have who HIV infected, their parents are also HIV and unfortunately passed away. And also the process is that the children transferred to KKM, and KKM actually find Puan Hajah, and then it's transferred to this house.
The project name and the community terlibat, as you mentioned in the borang, okay, is kanak-kanak yang hidup dengan HIV/AIDS dan kanak-kanak yang tinggal bersama mereka. So I think the main target group is the kanak-kanak with the HIV/AIDS. Okay, and you should talk more about that person, that people, that group, and the activities or the way you teach them about oral health care should also be something unique. Should then I imagine something that is kind different from the normal person. So because they have this disease, right? So like sharing toothbrush, is it good or bad? But I couldn't see that in the presentation. Is that something that you're doing? So what is the uniqueness of this project for these kids?
Okay. Thank you, Prof, for the questions. Let me answer this question first. Actually, we have included the risk habits, the oral hygiene risk habits that can lead to HIV infection. For example, like Prof mentioned just now, the sharing of toothbrush, not only sharing of toothbrush, but sharing of shavers. Yeah, we also, that's also included in our risks and the routes of transmission of HIV. So we are not only focusing on the children with HIV, but also focusing on children who is living with the HIV individual. Yeah.
So there are such activities meant for them.
Yes.
It should be more highlighted.
And then
like psychological well-being and so on, so that it matches with the name, the title of your project.
And then not only the risk and route of transmissions of the HIV, because there are multiples of oral lesions that can associated with HIV infection. So we also provide them with a big mirror, which all self-oral check, self-oral examination that they can carry out in their daily oral hygiene practices. Yeah, that's what we have done. Thank you.
I just want to continue from a question, because this is also education for all other students who are doing Sulam. You see, when you do a project, it shouldn't be one project fits all. Because if I take out your HIV, I can put OKU there, I can put, students from primary school. So you have to show or prove to us why is this so unique to the HIV children, which means my project is focusing on these children who have these diseases, and it will help because we're doing the virtual because there are these reasons and we can't see that clearly here. Yeah? And because we all want to learn about HIV, how? Like say my education students go and deal with them. We want to do something virtual, but we want to learn the basic. So did you all do needs analysis before going into this virtual thing?
Yeah, I agree with both my colleagues, and so I will not repeat that. But the thing is, you are going to answer?
Okay.
This one takut hilang. I was going to ask, this one your own creation? Your own creation, that is marketable. Okay, boleh buat research lebih lah. Kan? Jual under UM tu dekat halaman pun boleh tolong. And then, but I think this is a very nice one, yeah, and it is applicable. But I also look at your evaluation. To me, any program, kalau tak di evaluation, you know, it's not very design. Your evaluation I see is only on the activities. You should have an overall evaluation which you go on SWOT analysis probably. Yeah, if you don't know what SWOT analysis, go and ask your lecturer. And then of course, that's why I think, because I don't see it, because the impact is not there. As Prof was saying, the impact, cannot see the impact. Nah? And then the other thing is, why do you always, I am always concerned, because I don't work with one company. Why are you always moving around UM? Even if you are around UM, there's pendidikan khas in education. There's faculty of medicine. Why do you have to go only on that limitation of your collaboration? Yeah, and there's outside, there's persatuan what khas, you know, patient khas or whatever under Prof. Mas Surrealist. Okay, so there are many outside. Okay, so I think your project intention is good, tapi there needs to be more thinking about it.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Akhirnya, kita tiba kepada pembentang terakhir iaitu juga dari Fakulti Pergigian yang diketuai oleh saudari Nurin Afika binti Poisin dengan tajuk projeknya Diamond Diary of Mother Nurturing Smile for Daughters and Son. Dipersilakan.
Test. In order to experience the joys of motherhood, one must first go through the trials and tribulations of pregnancy, in which would bring about so many changes to the physical body of the mother, which sometimes do harm than good. Before diving deeper into that, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning I bid to the respected panel of adjudicators, lecturers, staff, and also fellow students from University Malaya. I am Nilia, and alongside me are my friends Yimao and Winnie that will be presenting our Sulam project titled Diamonds, Diary of Mother Nurturing Daughters and Sons. Before starting, I would like to celebrate my fellow team members that have worked tirelessly in order to make this project a reality. And most importantly, Prof. Zamros as our supervisor. Today, we will be presenting you our project starting from the introduction, situational analysis, planning, implementation, evaluation, and also an overall reflection of our project. To kickstart our presentation, I would like to first talk about the concept of our project. The framework of our project was mostly based off the planning model of Yules and Cement and also the Ottawa Charter for Health Promotion. We use these two references to ensure long-lasting and impactful behavioral changes in the participants. Now, let's have a look at the situational analysis. You might be wondering why we chose pregnant teens as our target group. Well, this all started when one of our team members told their story about how they met one patient that lost most of their teeth after their pregnancy, and as a result, they have lost their confidence to smile and also their ability to eat. This sorrowful story reached our hearts, and because of that, we continued to further research about this. And through our research, we found out three things. Firstly, is that pregnant mothers are usually are at risk of developing many oral diseases, such as gum disease and also cavities. Secondly, these oral diseases, if left untreated, may affect the unborn child. So it can manifest in form of preterm labor and also low birth weight. Last and certainly not least, is that these oral diseases is able to essentially transfer from the mother to a child, creating this sort of cycle of oral diseases within the family that is very hard to break. Additionally, these teens from the shelter mostly come from disadvantaged or low socioeconomic background. Socioeconomic background. This further escalates the risk of developing oral diseases and means that they most probably will have poor oral health literacy. This fact is further solidified when we look at the baseline knowledge. I'm so sorry. This fact is further solidified when we look at the baseline knowledge. So, the pregnant mothers mostly lacked in knowledge of personal and child oral health practices. Next, we can see that most of the participants also do not have an effective oral hygiene routine or a healthy diet. Last but certainly not least, we also evaluated their oral hygiene status based on the plaque charting. And based on this, we can find out that 100% of the participants in the shelter have poor oral hygiene. And this is very alarming for us, as poor oral hygiene is an indicator for oral diseases and also a reflection on their ineffective toothbrushing habits. Based on these factors, the pregnant teens in our target group have an exponentially high risk of oral diseases and, worse, passing it on to their children, which perpetuates the cycle of oral diseases within the family. Now that we've heard why these people require this intervention, we will now move on to the planning stages of the project. We have developed 5 objectives as projected. Essentially, what our objectives want to create is for the participants at the end of the project to be able to use the knowledge that we have given them and empower themselves to do and practice oral hygiene habits, and also for them to have the confidence to take care of their child's oral hygiene. In order to achieve these goals, we have devised multiple engaging activities such as video presentations, demonstrations, games, quizzes, and many more. This is not only to enhance the participants' knowledge and understanding, but also for them to enjoy the process of learning. In order for us to evaluate the effectiveness of our program, we have chosen 3 methods, which are questionnaires, plug charting, and also a group discussion at the end, which will be further explained by my friend. Last but certainly not least, the last step in the planning stages is to acquire partners and sponsors that can further enrich our program. So firstly, one of the sponsors that we acquired was Colgate, which provided us with the oral health kits. Next is Archprint, which supplied us with printing materials. And last but not least is Klinik Pertandingan Ampang that have agreed to do annual dental checkups and treatments for the people in this shelter.
Upon completion of our planning stage, our team dived enthusiastically into the implementation stage. So in our first day of implementation, we target to aim for 3 objectives, which is to deliver oral health educations, to promote oral health self-care, and also to create a supportive environment. So we kickstart the day with a seminar featuring 5 of our group members, educating the participants in caries, gum disease, oral cancers, positive oral health practices, and also dietary sugar intake. Next, to further enforce their understanding upon toothbrushing and also flossing technique, we have small group demonstrations where one of our team members will demonstrate the technique on a tooth model to 1 or 2 of the participants at one time. We believe that this activity will help the participants to visualize the technique clearly instead of just having a verbal input. Next, we have a quiz sessions where the sessions turn out lively with the countdown timer and also the live ranking updating after each quiz questions. And we are happy to see that there is a positive involvement of the participants in the quiz, as we believe that through this process, they are able to recall and reinforce their knowledge that they have gained. Next, at the end of the day, we distribute 1 oral healthcare kit to each of the participants. With that, we wish that we are able to create an environment more readily for them to start trying out what they have already learned. So after 6 weeks of planning and also preparation, we made it to our second day of implementation. So for the second day, our objective is to educate pregnant teenagers on effects of pregnancy and also ways to take care of their children's oral health, and also to develop a healthy eating program policy. So on that day, we start off with a seminar. I think for the participants, they might think that they're stuck in another lengthy seminar again. But for that day, we focus on the topic about pregnancy and also educate them on how to take care of infants or children's oral health. And next, we have a short quiz session as a warm-up exercise for the participants. The quiz is actually based on the content that we have already presented. We hope that through this method, it can help to recap their understanding. So here comes the highlight of the day, which is the mini stations game sessions. So we have prepared 4 station games. Each station game is based on one specific topic that we have already taught to the participants. The first station is tic-tac-toe. The game is based on children oral health practices. So it is actually a dental version of tic-tac-toe, where the participants need to match the correct answers to the questions in order to secure markings in their selected boxes. So these are some of the questions prompted in the game. The next station, Floss Like a Boss. So in this station, we plan to give a chance for the participants to try out hands-on experience on flossing, because we noticed that almost all of the participants have never ever tried flossing in their life. So throughout the activities, we are able to rectify their error and guide them the proper way of flossing. The next station, Brush Like Da Vinci. So these stations, the objective is to simulate, to let the participants simulate toothbrushing technique, and at the same time understand the reasoning behind all of the recommended toothbrushing technique. So the participants are asked to brush the tooth model using acrylic paint, and the trick here is the coverage of the acrylic paint will only be optimum if the participants have already performed with proper toothbrushing force, angulation, and also adaptation. The last station is shopping game. So in this station, the participants are asked to pick foods and drinks to make up their menu, and their menu is evaluated by our team members. So our team members will then also give advice to them upon diet advice based on the food pyramid, and also diet suitable for pregnant mothers, and also sugary diet intake. So the last activity will be the toothbrushing drill. For this, it is designed to reinforce our third objective, which is introduced in our first visit. So the participants is given disclosing tablet which can stain the plug on their tooth. So by this method, we hope that the participants are able to assess their own toothbrushing technique by observing on the amount of staining left after they have already brushed their teeth. Oops. Okay, so another thing is, on that day, 2 of our members also did a diet survey where they visit the kitchen, observe the menu, and also interview the caretaker. So with the findings that they managed to obtain, they reviewed the menu and came up with a food policy. So this is our project evaluation. So for oral health knowledge, you can see a overall improvement in their knowledge, where there is almost all of the questions are able to be answered by all of the participants correctly. And for oral health behavior, you can see improvement in their daily oral health practice. For oral hygiene status, which is determined by plug score, we analyze it by 2 methods, which is the bar chart and also the PETI test. So the bar chart, we can see that before the implementation stage, 100% of the participants are categorized in the poor plug score group. Whereas after the implementation, we can see some improvement, where some of the participants are categorized in a good and fair category. So for the PETI test, it shows that the reduction of the plug score is significant. And prior to the completion of the project, we get some feedback from our participants, and we are happy to see that they are able to use some specific terms such as caries and plugs when they are answering to our questions, which indicates that they already get what we try to convey to them. And overall, they claim that the program is interesting and beneficial, and we are happy to see that they are more confident to practice their good oral hygiene, and some of them even say that they wish to join similar project after they leave the shelter.
So going into the sustainability of our project, so firstly, we have successfully achieved a partnership with the KP Ampang, which is Klinik Pergigian Ampang, to provide them dental checkup annually so that their oral conditions and dental condition is closely monitored without us being with them. So we have also introduced booklet, which is totally created by our own group member. So we name it as Smile for Two, for the mother and their children. So the booklet contain information and knowledge such as oral health care for children, oral health care for pregnant mother, and also guideline for the caretakers. So this is definitely will become the guidelines for the caretakers to take care of the future comers in the center, and also for the mothers to take care of the children's oral health care in the future. Next one. Okay, we also introduced a total different 8 poster which have different contents, including toothbrushing technique, diets, and also relationship between the pregnancy and also oral health. So this will actually act as a reminder for the participants or the pregnant woman to maintain and remember what we have taught them in the program, and also to teach the newcomers in the shelter where they can learn through the poster the knowledge and information we have given to the shelter. Next. So this one is the oral self-care mentioned by my friend just now. We have given them toothpaste, toothbrush, dental floss, which they have never used before, and also we have given mouth rinse for them. So this is actually act as an initiative for us, for them to use the right tool to maintain the oral hygiene properly with the right way. So last one is the food policy we mentioned just now. After doing diet survey in the kitchen with the caretakers, so we want to ensure the shelter is giving them a healthy and balanced diet during the pregnancy and after pregnancy.
So, for reflections, this is our SWOT analysis of our program. So the strength in our program is actually we are able to teach them and we are able to reinforce the knowledge and skills in a very interactive ways without boring them. And we are also able to give out booklets and posters to promote the project sustainability and continuity. Then, what is the opportunities of our program? So we are glad that we are able to promote healthy oral status in the pregnant teenager and their children, and we are able to promote the oral health related quality of life in the people with lower status in the community. They might be ignored by the community, and we are also able to achieve a partnership with the local dental clinic. So what is the weakness? What is the limitation for our program? We are actually facing problems like change in number of pregnant teenagers because they are moving out after their pregnancy, and then distance from UM to the target group is quite far away, and the pregnant teenagers actually having limited access to the technological device when they are staying there, and the time management due to the shelter is quite busy, and treats is there is limited number of dental health organization over Ampang. So let me do some reflections. So we are able to learn how to plan, implement, and evaluate, and we are able to improve the culture, communications, and competence to communicate effectively. And then we are able to improve negotiation skills when dealing with the community and carry out tasks successfully throughout the effective teamwork. So for conclusion, I would like to conclude our presentation with our objective that we are able to achieve all the objectives we have created initially. So,
Thank you for the presentation. I don't have, I have question, but I would like to first compliment you for the project that you have done. I think you have selected an abandoned target group, and you give services to them, and you educate them, you bring awareness to them, which is very good. And all the activities that you do talk about them, okay, meaning the pregnant teen and also their babies. And you took out you go forward by looking at the food storage in the community, and look at what is lacking, and then you propose perjanjian, if I'm not mistaken. You call policy pemakanan. This is signed by the student and also the rumah perlindungan. So if I can read, so that they can provide the ibu hamil with pelbagai pilihan makanan sihat, which is very, very good. I just want to know, okay, what is the most impactful thing that you learn from this project? Just one answer will be good.
I think we are same age, but that we are similar but different.
I think one of the most impactful things that I encountered when I was there was that most of the students there were around the same age as us, but we were at very different points of our lives. So that was one of the most impactful things, and because we saw how the conditions that they were living in and the situation that they were in, we really, really wanted to ensure that we give 100% of everything that we had to them. So the impact was seeing how different our lives were, even though we were the same age and living around the same area, but how different things can be for different people. So I think other than, designing a project and whatnot, that is one of the most personal things that have impacted us.
Thank you for your answer, because I have something to follow up on that. If you all know, Sulam is different from volunteerism, different from community service, correct? In Sulam, as you serve, you learn. And I hope all of you will have that impact as strong as possible, because we can see a lot of your sacrifice, your commitment, your passion. But where did the learning come from? Because my students have been to this home, teaching them English, basic things. So I have been to that home many, many times. So what did you learn about these teenage pregnancy girls? Did you all do some research? Did you all understand their emotions? Where did the learning for you came from? Where was the benefit for you came from? Because that's very important in Sulam, or else it becomes volunteer or community service. Can you respond to that?
So one of the first things that we learned on the first day we came there were basically what the students or the people in the shelters' perception of oral hygiene was. So there we understand that these people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds typically don't have a good literacy when it comes to oral hygiene. Therefore, it's very hard for them to grasp things that are taught as basic for us, but to them is something that is really, really hard to understand. So we learned how to bridge the gap between us as the provider and also them as the receiver. So that's why we thought of doing seminars as one thing, and then we had quizzes, and then we also had games for them to continuously revise their knowledge so that those knowledge can be retained for further for the future. That's one thing. Another thing that I can also say that I learned is that they have a lot of myths that they believe are true, such as pregnant women need to eat a lot of, this is just an example, the pregnant women there believe that they had to eat a lot of susu pekat, susu tin, because they said that it had calcium, and the calcium is, the calcium from the mother's body is being taken to the children. So that's one thing that we had to learn, was what their level of knowledge and understanding is, so that we can actually properly combat those myths and whatnot, so that they can, so that this project will be more impactful for them.
I tak ada tanya ke? Okay. No, thank you very much. Very good, very interesting and very good presentation you have come up with. I just want some clarification, just to be sure, which I think a few things that I like about what you're doing is, one of the things is, as mentioned, you are focusing on them. And on top of that, it's about the unborn babies, how to look after them, what happens. So that's number one that I think is commendable. Number two is, I'm not sure, and I need to clarify this. You are working with this pusat bimbingan by Ar-Rahmah. But lepas tu, this is the thing that I like, and I was looking for others to look you ada buat connection dengan klinik pergigian Ampang. That's our government clinic kan. So they actually look after these people, is it? After that?
For now, this is at the moment, this is just the agreement phases. But what we are trying to discuss with KP Ampang is for them to provide annual dental checkups for the people in the shelter, and also treatments. Because one of the complaints we got from one of the caretakers is that it takes too long for the people there to get an appointment there. So sometimes they started to see the doctor in the first trimester. By the time they got the appointment, the baby was already out. And at that point, the effect of the oral disease is already rampant.
Yeah, you need to work on this actually, because as you know, the antenatal clinic that the government is doing is, I won't say it's a total failure, but it is, still has not improved more further despite so many decades already. Yeah, so it would be good if this can be shifted, or you have a more concrete kind of action related with the Oral Health Division, Ministry of Health. That would be very much better, because then this can be a model for the antenatal clinic as well. I'm just curious, why do you have that thing in deep blue? It's ugly looking.
I think that was one of the games that we played with the participants, where we wanted them to visually see the effects of toothbrushing. So what we had was a white model. So the white model is essentially dirty.
But you can have the other models that you have usually, isn't it? Why do because this color is really terrible. And you know, if you're, I know you're using the two-tone dye, isn't it? Yeah, but the two-tone dye, if you are in the clinic, we won't use it if the patient is going to go on the bus, you know, because everybody will look at them and think that they've just come up from some place. Yeah. So I think you need to rethink about it. To me, it's not attractive enough. It's scary, actually. Yeah, you can use a two-tone dye on them, but demonstration janganlah macam tu. Takut lah. Tengok warna macam tu.
Okay, thank you so much for the comments. We will take note.
Yeah. The other things I like about your thing, I baru sebut tadi SWOT analysis, and you have it there. Yeah, so there's a way to look at some of the things of your weaknesses and strength, yeah, there. Baru sebut tadi. So tadi ni baru hantar kan, so baru kita tengok. Very good. This is the one that I'm talking about for all other groups. You need to do a SWOT analysis in order to show whether your program is impactful, sustainable, or everything else. Thank you very much to all the members.
Thank you.
Diucapkan kepada pembentang terakhir kita dari Fakulti Pergigian. Maka dengan berakhirnya persembahan daripada kelima-lima pembentang itu tadi, maka tamatlah sudah pertandingan pembentangan projek Sulam pada hari ini. Majlis akan ditangguhkan seketika untuk memberikan laluan kepada barisan panel juri untuk pengiraan markah, dan majlis penyampaian hadiah akan disambung kembali pada pukul 11.45 pagi untuk memberikan sedikit ruang kepada panel juri untuk mengira markah. Para hadirin diminta untuk kekal berada dalam dewan bagi majlis penyampaian hadiah yang akan bermula sebentar lagi. Majlis ditangguhkan selama 15 minit. Para hadirin serta penonton di YouTube. Saya ingin menjemput wakil panel juri Farah Dina binti Yusof, ahli jawatan ini dipersilakan.
Okey, jatuh lagi lah. Pakai. Okey. Sorry, Prof. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat tengah hari kepada semua peserta, pensyarah, penganjur dan semua yang menonton secara online. Secara keseluruhannya, semua projek yang dipertandingkan ada kekuatannya masing-masing. Okay? Dan semua projek tu memberi manfaat kepada mereka golongan sasaran. So kami ucapkan tahniah kepada anda yang telah berjaya sampai ke peringkat ini. Okey. Okey. Cuma yang membezakan antara projek ada beberapa kriteria lah. Okey. Yang saya akan bercakap mixnya in English and also Malay. I hope it's okay. First, the project or the course must really suit the concept of Sulam. Okay, the principles of Sulam. This is especially for the pensyarah. Okay, perhaps the students don't really know, but the pensyarah should know what is Sulam principles. Okay, number one, that is most important, that the course content, the course title must be aligned with the projects that the students do. Okay, for example, if you are from dentistry, the projects that students do tak bolehlah berkaitan dengan contohnya membetulkan rumah orang asli. It has to be related to dental health care, penjagaan oral care and so on, which we can see most of the projects are doing it right. Yeah? And secondly, you have to also think about the scope of the project. Some projects have very big scope. Okay, so they cannot focus on just one area. Okay, one of the principles of Sulam is that the students' areas of expertise must match with the services that they give to the community. Okay, if this doesn't match, means it is a community service or volunteerism. Okay, it's not Sulam. Okay, so please be very, very careful with that. Okay, the other thing that I would like to highlight also is the process of doing the projects. Okay. The ideal process will be the 5 steps implementation. You should start with doing need analysis. So doing the need analysis meaning that you go to the community before you implement the project and see what are the real problems that they are experiencing. Then you come back to university, go to step number 2 and 3, which is you design and develop products or prototype or your training or curriculum whatsoever, to help overcome the problems that you have identified earlier. Okay, then you implement it. Don't forget to evaluate the effectiveness of the project. So you must have 5 if you could. Okay, so some of the student or the projects that we see today, some of them do not or skip the need analysis. Need analysis part. Some of them do skip the evaluation part. So next time, I hope that you take this into consideration when you plan the projects with the students. Okay, and also we must be convinced that there is a real problem happening. Okay, if you look at the problem from the literature only, then you are implementing what you think the community is experiencing. Okay, that's why the need analysis is very important. Even though you have done the literature review, for example, in general, we know that masalah kesihatan oral sangat meningkat, but you need to confirm what kind of masalah kesihatan yang dialami oleh community, then you can go forward. Okay, so in terms of the project, it has to be innovative. There are many projects that nampak macam menarik tapi it's not innovative enough. Okay, I'm not talking about just projek keseluruhan. Saya ada pengalaman as the jury for the pertandingan Sulam Innovate 2021 peringkat kebangsaan. We receive about 300 plus project, okay, from many universities, swasta and also Universiti Awam and also Polytechnic. Very, some of them have international connections. Okay, so looking at the projects in I think we are going towards there, but we can still improve it. And another thing is think about the sustainability of the project in future. Once the student graduated from your course, so you left the community behind. Can you ask the students to do a little bit more, for example, through the products? Can they share the products with the community? Or can they put it online so that other people can access it? Or can the next cohort of the students take on the project that they have done by the previous semester? So if we can do that, so the community doesn't feel like abandoned. It's like you are just, you just like a hero, datang dengan kuda, dia ke tempat mereka, do something, and then just time dia orang tengah happy, and then you just left them like that, and then they never see you. The students also of course have graduated. If they email you or WhatsApp you, you pun tak layan sebab tak ada kaitan dah dengan project you. So if possible, we don't want to do that. Okay. I like some of the projects that have a lot of collaboration with the industry. That is very good, and that's what we want to do. Okay, just a little bit of technicality. I've also take a look at the borang-borang penyertaan. I know mungkin dah a bit terlambat lah for you untuk membetulkan, but for your next project, please pay attention to the borang. For example, if they ask you how many credit hours for the program or for the course, state that 3 ke, 4 ke, 2 ke. I've seen here 235 credit. Credit hours, itu tak betul. That could be the jam penglibatan. Okay, so please baca betul-betul. And if the borang said title and course name, code and course name, put both. Jangan letak satu sahaja. Okay, in my experience, kita all this technicality kalau tak memenuhi je, kita tak buang, kita tak ambil, kita buang awal-awal. Kita tak tengok pun dia punya project. Because we receive so many hundreds of it. We want just the quality one only. So please be careful. For the lecturers, especially whose names are printed in the students' borang, please take a look at the students' borang. Okay, avoid any language problem. Grammar, salah ejaan, salah maksud. Okay, some of the borang could be sebelah English and then Melayu. So you should italize. Okay, so please check your borang correctly. Okay, about the ethics, one thing I wanted to point out. I'm quite worried, and I hope that the lecturers have also talked about this in class. When you take pictures or videos of the communities that you serve, did you get your permission from them? If they don't want to be filmed, try not to do it, okay? And then, or maybe you take the pictures, tapi kaburkan muka dia ke, and so on. That will be something that you need to really think about. Some people, for example, dia mungkin dalam keadaan dia sakit, so pakaian pun tak berapa, orang kata kemas, tak menutup aurat, dia pun segan, okay? And especially if you want to publish in website or you want to bentangkan in social media or the presentation like this, ask permission first, and try best to protect them, okay? Okay, about presentation, I know there's a jury about presentation, but I just wanted to highlight some things. In case any of you are going for the peringkat kebangsaan, these are some tips I would want you to think about. Number 1, show your products betul-betul, visibly. Okay, you can see some of the students, some of the projects, they give you the touchable, tangible products. If you have that, put it macam tadi depan meja. Okay, let the judges feel, touch, smell and see it so that they can internalize what you are trying to do. If it doesn't involve any project, for example, you do training 3 hari 2 malam, So put all the materials, for example, atau cara program, whatever, booklet, or during your, let's say, in kursus kepimpinan, ada games kan? So bola-bola games ke dengan cawan, letak aja. It is very important to make it visible to everyone so that they know, projek ni berjalan and this is what they are doing. Okay, one of the criteria is that commercialization potential. So if they see that your project ada gigi yang ni menarik lah, so they will give more marks to you. Okay, and they will perhaps connect you with the industry if they know anyone. So who knows? Just letak semua benda dekat depan meja you. Okay, and secondly, there are about 10 to 13 students in a group. Okay, but some of the groups kind of invisible. We can only see 2 or 3. Okay, so I understand it could be because not everyone can be at the same time. But when you have your members here, when they are presenting, make sure everyone has a role in that presentation. Not everyone has to talk, but you can see in some of the presentations, okay, this person will show the poster, this person will go forward and interact with the judges. So give everyone a role when they present. Jangan biar senyap macam tukul kayu je kan. So they must have a role. So that in that we can see the collaboration. If during the presentation you cannot show us the collaboration, can we trust that everyone in the project are also giving 100% during the Sulam project? Okay, so that's the image that you have to portray. And please practice. When you want to present, especially in this kind of competition, practice every single words, every script. Okay, if you can have script, you practice and look at the timing also, whether it's good or not. Everybody who's involved in the presentation should know when to click the slide. You don't have to say next. Okay, so make it more professional. In some of the groups have done this. I'm really appreciate what you're doing. It's not easy. Okay, to synchronize everything. Okay, you only have about 10 minutes maximum. Sometimes just 5 minutes. Kalau terlalu banyak sangat finalis, 5 minit saja setiap kumpulan. So you have to betul-betul buatlah. And I think the timing is very important to the point that kalau dah habis masa, kita tak benarkan lagi bercakap. So you lose point kat situ. Just tell the very important basics sahaja. Okay, with that I guess that is more reasons why some kumpulan dapat markah tinggi, some kumpulan dapat markah agak rendah and so on. But I really appreciate the efforts that have been done by the lecturers and also the students. You have done great projects and you have served the community well, Alhamdulillah, and thank you so much for doing that. It's the UM's reputation that at stake. So you are portraying the students' image. Huh? Thank you so much, everyone, and I wish you good luck in future. Thank you.
Terima kasih Yang Bersaha Profesor Madya Dr. Farah di atas komen yang diberikan. Diharapkan ianya berguna sebagai panduan kepada peserta-peserta bagi pertandingan sulam pada tahun hadapan. Jadi, debaran kian terasa, keputusan telah pun berada di tangan saya. Jadi saya pasti kesemua di sini tertanya-tanya peserta manakah yang akan menyandang gelaran tempat pertama bagi pertandingan projek sulam peringkat Universiti Malaya pada kali ini. Jadi, tanpa melengahkan masa, kita teruskan majlis kita dengan penyampaian hadiah kepada pemenang-pemenang pertandingan projek sulam UM 2023 dan keputusan hakim adalah muktamad dan sebarang bantahan tidak dibenarkan. Kini tiba detik yang dinantikan, iaitu pengumuman keputusan sudah pun berada di tangan saya. Bagi pihak majlis, saya dengan sukacitanya mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Profesor Dr. Intan, pengarah citra untuk ke hadapan bagi menyempurnakan penyampaian hadiah kepada pemenang. Jadi, saya akan mulakan dengan kategori pembentang terbaik dahulu. Bagi kategori pembentang terbaik, kumpulan yang memenangi kategori ini dimenangi oleh projek kumpulan kedua. Jadi saya ingin menjemput ketua kumpulan Farah Adiba binti Nur Haizam berserta dengan pensyarah Dr. Mashan Linda Jamaluddin untuk menerima wang tunai bernilai RM400, plak, hamper serta sijil. Mohon semua ahli kumpulan juga berada di hadapan bagi sesi bergambar. Tahniah diucapkan kepada para pemenang. Jadi, saya mulakan dengan penyampaian hadiah sagu hati di mana dua kumpulan akan memenangi kategori tersebut. Untuk kategori projek Sulam terbaik, tempat sagu hati dimenangi oleh kumpulan pertama dengan projeknya Emotional Support Project oleh Ketua Kumpulan Nur Rushidah binti Rosli bersama pensyarahnya Dr. Muhammad Ismat Ramzi Muhammad Ismail. Oleh itu, saya menjemput Ketua Kumpulan serta pensyarah pengiring untuk menerima wang tunai bernilai RM300, hamper dan juga sijil. Tahniah diucapkan kepada pemenang. Jadi, untuk tempat sagu hati yang seterusnya dimenangi oleh kumpulan ketiga dengan projeknya Interactive Hall Project Interhall. Saya menjemput Ketua Kumpulan Muhammad Fazil bin Aib bersama pensyarah Dr. Nur Hidayah binti Ramzi untuk ke hadapan bagi sesi penyampaian hadiah. Dipersilakan juga ahli kumpulan serta pensyarah untuk berada di hadapan bagi sesi bergambar. Tahniah diucapkan. Baiklah, debaran makin terasa. Kini hanya 3 kumpulan sahaja yang masih belum dipanggil. Untuk tempat ketiga, dimenangi oleh kumpulan keempat dengan projeknya Smile Bright Reach New Height. Oleh itu, saya menjemput Ketua Kumpulan Chua Ran Kang serta Profesor Dr. Nur Intan Ebi Murad dan Dr. Ainul Haniza binti Khairul Anwar bagi sesi bergambar. Pemenang akan menerima wang tunai bernilai RM600, plak, hamper serta sijil. Jadi, kita akan berbaki 2 kumpulan sahaja. Saya akan buat pengumuman bagi kumpulan yang memenangi tempat pertama dahulu dan kumpulan yang tidak disebut seterusnya akan memenangi tempat kedua. Jadi, untuk tempat pertama bagi kategori projek Sulam terbaik dimenangi oleh kumpulan kelima dengan projeknya Diamond Dairy of Mother Nurturing Smiles for Daughters and Son. Oleh itu, saya menjemput Ketua Kumpulan Saudari Nurin Afiqah binti Poisin bersama dengan pensyarahnya iaitu Profesor Dr. Zamrus Yuzadi Muhammad Yusof bagi menerima wang tunai bernilai RM1,000, plak, hamper dan juga sijil. Diminta semua ahli kumpulan untuk berada di hadapan bagi sesi bergambar. Tahniah diucapkan kepada kumpulan tersebut. Jadi sudah terang lagi bersuluh untuk tempat kedua kategori projek Sulam terbaik dimenangi oleh kumpulan kedua dengan projeknya Mata Kesihatan Mulut dan Gigi di kalangan pelajar sekolah kurang upaya penglihatan. Oleh itu, saya menjemput ketua kumpulan Saudari Farah Adibah binti Nur Haizam bersama dengan pensyarahnya iaitu Dr. Marhaz Linda Berjamaluddin untuk menerima wang tunai sebanyak RM800, plak, hamper dan juga sijil. Tahniah diucapkan. Tahniah diucapkan kepada semua pemenang. Saya mohon Profesor Nur Intan untuk kekal berada di hadapan bagi sesi penyampaian cenderamata kepada panel juri. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, tanpa para hakim yang bijaksana, sesuatu pertandingan tidak dapat dijalankan. Sebagai menghargai kesudian mereka untuk meluangkan masa, pihak penganjur mengendiakan cenderamata sebagai kenangan. Dengan ini, saya menjemput Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Farah ke hadapan untuk menerima cenderamata dari pihak Citra. Seterusnya, saya menjemput Dr. Visha untuk ke hadapan. Seterusnya, saya menjemput Profesor Dr. Rahimah untuk ke hadapan. Tidak dilupakan juga barisan panel juri di kalangan pensyarah-pensyarah dari Citra. Oleh itu, dipersilakan Dr. Fatimi untuk ke hadapan bagi menerima cenderamata. Seterusnya dipersilakan Dr. Nur Ain Mat Nur bagi sesi penyampaian cenderamata. Dan yang terakhir dipersilakan Dr. Irene bagi sesi penyampaian cenderahati. Terima kasih diucapkan. Terima kasih Daun Keladi, jika diundang harap datang lagi. Hadirin yang dihormati, sebelum majlis bersurai, saya minta kita akan adakan sesi bergambar dibuat bagi sesi kenang-kenangan dan diminta kerjasama untuk semua duduk di tempat masing-masing bagi sesi bergambar berkumpulan.